welcome. So as usual, we cover technicals, we cover crypto education, and now it's the time for Cobra discussion. So let me share my screen with you, and we can start this fundamental news. So yeah, every day we sort of look through the archives of YouTube and Cointelegraph and all the sort of bits and pieces, and we sort of archive and collate, make a collage of like all the news articles that are most important to us and what's in the news. So I've got this new layup, and maybe this will become like a PDF magazine. But we do share all these these articles on discussion notes here on Discord, and we also have them on our Medium channel that Jarrett will tell you maybe later about. But yeah, so these sort of fundamentals are things that are on top of our sort of angle, and the first thing I want to kind of show you here is basically I believe a lot of you are looking at the Bitcoin chart right now and trying to call the bottoms and trying to call the sort of pullbacks because we did go below 38k and sometimes you have sort of just an overselling of participants, and other times you have as we say the word FUD in sort of the, you can say, mainstream news, and that's what we're going to cover today. So if we look into BTC right now, and I can just zoom into this a little bit, what you'll see is we have been short in a tiny bit, right? So this is the 4-hour chart, and from the 21st till the 3rd, we've been shorting it from the sort of 41, 42, 43k region, and we've come all the way down in the last couple of days from 40k down to 37k. So yeah, like it's good to know the technical side of it and to see where is that sort of the gauge of leverage when it comes to Bitcoin and these sort of assets. But we have to also realize that basically fundamentals, or like sort of external news factors, can also generate that dip in price. So one thing that we saw happen last Saturday was Berkshire Hathaway's sort of like quarterly summit, where Warren Buffett and his pal sort of give their opinion on Bitcoin, and thus far as we know, Warren Buffett is not the biggest fan of Bitcoin, but every time him or his pal Charlie Munger speak, it sort of affects price. So this sort of quarterly event took place on Saturday, and if we can see the price from Saturday, we've seen just complete drops in price range, right? So right now we are down almost about, I'd say, 20% since we hit the top. So what caused this thing? What was the opinions of Warren Buffett? So let's read into this article here. So it reads out: Warren Buffett's Bitcoin attacks drags crypto prices down. When Warren Buffett speaks, investors across the world sit down and listen. At his annual shareholder meeting at the weekend, the legendary investor claimed that Bitcoin doesn't produce anything, right? So Berkshire Hathaway CEO showed his contempt for the digital asset by stating, "If you told me you own all of the Bitcoin in the world and you offered it to me for $25, I wouldn't take it, because what would I do with it?" So that's the sort of opinion that when new technology comes in, guys, like when the same thing happened with like the Web 2.0 companies, when Facebook and Google and Amazon sort of challenged society and said, like, we'll do commerce from all in one website instead of going into shopping malls. People thought, not having a mall for shopping is crazy. So these sort of things are challenged by the media, by sort of characters like Warren Buffett. And these things kind of affect price. Whenever Warren Buffett, like, he's one of the most successful sort of hedge fund owners in the world, and I think there's a lot of like, you can say, institutional movement when Warren Buffett speaks, But yeah, so since he spoke and gave his opinions, we have seen price fall short. So let's see what else he said about Bitcoin. So it goes, whether it goes up or down in the next year or 5 or 10 years, I don't know. But the one thing I'm pretty sure of is that it doesn't produce anything. It's got a magic to it, and people have attached magics to lots of things. And then he makes a quote about $25 a Bitcoin offered to him, and he wouldn't take it. He goes, if you told me you own all of the Bitcoin in the world and you offered it to me for $25, I wouldn't take it, because what would I do with it? I'd have to sell it back to you one way or another. It isn't going to do anything. And like, my sort of opinion on this is basically, like these people, there's a few of them in sort of the you can say the government, and also in sort of the private equity side of the world, and they have a different take on things, and they don't realize the adoption value of it. So Peter Thiel from PayPal and others in the industry, like Michael Saylor, have been pretty vocal about Warren Buffett and his opinions, for sure. So here, Charlie Munger, his friend Charlie Munger, his advisor, also gives his quote and goes, "In my life, I try to avoid things that are stupid and evil and make me look bad, and Bitcoin does all three." Right? like sort of these kind of opinions are the reason why some people dump their bags, and yeah, that's what sort of is the reason why you saw the dips on the weekend. But overall, it's important to understand technicals, because like, if you know the technicals, you would have saw this movement coming. You like the market sort of place the future value and start to short and get into these levels. So yeah, that's the start to Bitcoin and where Bitcoin is. Let's continue, guys. Now, whilst we have that news and sort of the FUD that's been created, there's actually been some really good news on the other side of the world. So basically, I want to introduce you to Angel Studios. So Angel Studios is a place where sort of like creators of content, when it comes to documentaries or movies or films, they can use something like this to participate. And Angel has been getting a lot of seed funding, and these guys are the challengers to Bitcoin. I mean, not to Bitcoin, sorry, to Netflix and Disney Plus. These are the kind of essential streaming services that will decentralize that world and bring things. So like, if we watch a little sample here of like the Tuttle Twins, for example, you see what I mean. Like, it's very Netflix like, and you can watch, like, but it's pretty state of the art. A lot of their documentation and their TV shows are full of animation and good quality content. So you can see that. So yeah, so this is something maybe y'all can look into later, and I'm gonna give you guys this link right now, so maybe you guys can look into it. But I'll tell you why we're looking into Angel. There's some big news behind it, so I'm gonna put this link here. So what did Angel do that was specific to basically, give themselves a heads up on cryptocurrency? So this article here kind of explains that, and the article here reads: Angel Studios received $10 million in Bitcoin for shares last October. Right, so indie movie studio Angel Studios received over $10 million in Bitcoin and over $4.9 million in cash for the shares it sold in October last year. Utah-based indie movie studio Angel Studios added 10.6 million in Bitcoin to their treasury thanks to a stock sale that took place in October last year. According to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filing, the company sold 1.6 million shares of its Class A common stocks at the average price of $9.28 per share in October 18th. The company received 4.9 million in cash, and equivalent to $10 million in Bitcoin for the shares. And Twitter account Macroscope noted that Angel Studio is backed by GigaFund, a VC firm aligned with Tesla's Elon Musk through its founder PayPal mafia member Luke Nozick and its investors in Musk's company. So yeah, so Elon Musk is always in the news, and he will be in the next article as well when we talk about adoption. But yeah, so this fund here received some Bitcoin. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Do they create a treasury reserve, a marketing wallet out of this, and bring it to customers to basically to pay subscription in Bitcoin and in cryptocurrencies? All of that things is basically to be seen, and when we're looking forward to it. So this is pretty encouraging that Angel Studios has taken $10.6 million in Bitcoin. So we continue with our adoption news. And yeah, as we speak about the venture capitalists that Elon Musk is invested in, we talk about Tesla itself. And yeah, guys, always follow Altcoin Daily. Altcoin Daily is like one of the best Twitter pages that I have been around. So we'll kind of cover that there. But this was the this is a paragraph from the SEC filing for Tesla this year. And if you want the full report to the SEC filing, I can give it to you here, so you guys can look into it. But I'm gonna focus on just a paragraph here that that Altcoin Daily kind of pointed out, right? So let's see what it says here. So it goes, in the first quarter of 2021, we invested in an aggregate $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. We believe in the long-term potential of digital assets both as an investment and also as a liquid alternative to cash. As with any investment and consistent with how we manage fiat-based cash and cash equivalent accounts, we may increase or decrease our holdings of digital assets at any time based on the need of the business and our views of the market and environmental conditions. Digital assets are considered indefinite lived intangible assets under applicable accounting rules. Accordingly, any decrease in their fair values below our carrying value for such assets at any time subsequent to the acquisition will require us to recognize impairment charges, whereas we may make no upward revision for any market prices increase until a sale. For any digital assets held now or in the future, these charges may negatively impact or our profitability in the periods in which impairment occurs, even if the overall market value of these assets increase. For example, in the first quarter of 2021, we recorded approximately $27 million of impairment losses resulting from changes to the carrying value of our Bitcoin, and gains of $128 million on certain sales of Bitcoin by us. So that's pretty bullish, guys. You know, on one side you have like the old guard of hedge funds in Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger from Berkshire Hathaway sort of short Bitcoin and in their favors. And then on the other side you have like, you know, like Angel Studios, and you have Tesla actually give their accountability of how they're going to use cryptocurrencies, and basically see adoption on that level. So always look at both sides of the tail, especially when you have like an area where fear is part of the index. So if you look into the fear and greed index, you'd see right now everyone's they were in extreme fear, and we're kind of moving into this fear. So we're in the fear zone right now. So when you have fear in the market, it's important to see how Bitcoin and other sort of like sort of DeFi sort of projects and other ecosystems are adopting to like world use case. So here we go with Angel Studios taking that as a treasury, and Tesla using it for payment processing for its customers. So that's the news on adoption up till now. We will continue. I just want to make sure I'm on time. So I'm half an hour into this, but yeah, as this could stretch even longer. So now on some news that sort of caused a bit of FUD in the environment, and yeah, let's look into this news here. So it goes here. Crypto.com cuts card rewards to customers Dismay. So yeah, like just basically briefly before I read the article. So in Europe and in the US, Crypto.com allows you to basically, like, register for a Visa debit card, and you're able to use your cryptocurrencies and sort of convert your cryptos into fiat and top up your Visa card, and the whole marketing side to it started off with the cashback rewards, where the more you use your basically Crypto.com card to pay for bills and subscriptions and for your merch, you would get a 1 to 8% cashback on rewards. And today they decided to take another step away from that. So we're going to look into these key takeaways here. So as it reads out, Crypto.com announced yesterday that it will phase out the staking rewards and lower cashback rates on its popular prepaid Visa cards. Due to take effect on June the 1st, the changes will see the reward rates on the company's card drop from 1 to 8% to 0 to 2%, depending on the card's tier. The move has sparked outrage, with the community sending Crow tokens plummeting 17% of the day. So we saw prices go from, you can say, the 39 to 40 cent region to like 28 to 29 cents, and so it shorted a tiny bit. So that would have been a good short if you were leveraging that, but if you are holding on to Crow, then yeah, you see a little dip here. So yeah, so this was the sort of news from Crypto.com. So it reads here: popular prepaid cards get a haircut. One of the crypto favorite prepaid card is getting a downgrade, and nobody's happy about it. In Sunday's blog, crypto exchange and service provider Crypto.com announced that it would be cutting the staking and cashback rewards on its Visa-backed prepaid cards in changes due to effect on June the 1st. Under the old program, Crypto.com would get anywhere around 1 to 8% cashback rewards, and yeah, so now it's been revised to 0 to 2% on that front. So yeah, so this was a bit of news that caused a bit of FUD, but we'll see how the price recovers of Crow, and we keep an eye on how Crypto.com sort of reuse those assets and those sorts of like balances in better ways if they're taken away from cashback rewards. So that's the news on Crypto.com. I shall continue. Now Solana, as we know, went through a few stages, and just recently it had another crash on a token launch, an ICO, and Solana's been sort of vocal about a few different things to do with its sort of like mechanisms, like proof of stake, and how different it is to like things like Bitcoin. So this article here kind of got my attention here. So it reads out: Solana co-founder believes Bitcoin needs to change to proof of stake consensus to remain relevant. Anthony Yakovenko, one of the co-founders of Solana proof of stake based smart contract enabled blockchain, issued a series of statements criticizing Bitcoin's consensus algorithm. In an interview on CNBC, Yakovenko stated that Bitcoin might lose adoption if it doesn't change to a proof of stake consensus algorithm. Other organizations have also attacked Bitcoin, hinting that at its same change as a possible solution for what are considered drawbacks by some. Solana creator believes Bitcoin proof of work consensus algorithm will affect its usage. So what does he go here? So he goes, if you look at Solana's energy report, a single Solana transaction is about 2 Google searches worth of energy. I think that even among proof of stake networks is one of the most efficient ones. If Bitcoin eventually doesn't switch to proof of stake, nobody's going to use it. And this is the truth, guys. We talk about the flip between Bitcoin and Ethereum and in market cap, and when that happens, if Bitcoin don't take the sort of resurgence of looking into proof of stake sort of solutions, then they might be a thing of the past. But that's the first sort of one-lining hit by the co-founder of Solana, Anatoly Yakovenko. So this is something that maybe you guys can take an interest in. So I'm going to just give you guys this article here. And Taylor, you've just given me the update that Crypto.com has backtracked some of that on that already. Could you give us a minute and explain like what they did? Are they giving back our cashback rewards? Because if that's the case, that's awesome. But yeah, we'll look into that for sure. But that did cause FUD. It did make price really dip, and it was something that really took my thing. So apart from those sort of like issues with mainnet and proof of stake, there's other things like how Solana energy is used. There's reports into that, but that's something that we'll look into another time. One thing I want to kind of look into right now is something called Algorand, if you guys don't mind. So Algorand right now is a layer 1 solution. It's a big mainnet project. It's got billions of dollars in investments, and currently in the last like 3-4 days it's up 20% in price. And you have like really cool computer science based people behind it, and it's a token that you can buy off Binance.com right now. You can buy it off centralized exchanges, and it's something that I would want more of you to look into, because this could be the next sort of 100x. Honestly, it's a really big project. It's based on proof of stake on layer 1, and this week they had some really big news. So why are we talking about Algorand, and why is Algorand up 20%? So the other thing I want to show you is its ecosystem. It's important to see what its ecosystem currently is like. And remember guys, like this ecosystem is growing right now. There's going to be many layers to it. Like it's got the stablecoin infrastructure, it's got the NFT marketplaces, the borrowing lending synthetic models, it's got dexes like AlgoDex, Tinyman, Dogechain. Like these are the kind of projects that I would buy dips on. Like when we first started off on Uniswap, for example, we'd look into like where the NFT marketplaces were, what the synthetic models we're talking about, which wallets to do, and these are the kind of projects that you want to get into early on, because when this thing goes up to like 100x from here, then so do these projects here. So this is a little bit of studying that I want you guys to kind of look into. So I'm gonna give you guys this ecosystem link here, and I'll tell you why we're looking into this quite deeply. Some big news came out surrounding Algorand this week, and basically we also saw Algorand take up the Times Square sort of advertisement screen, and lock this thing down, right? So we covered this last week about its eco-friendliness, right? So here it reads, Times Square will go dark tonight to prove crypto doesn't have to be bad for the planet. Algorand, a carbon negative blockchain protocol, wants you to know it's not an environmental villain, so it's dimming NYC to get your attention. So yeah, so they took out this big billboard, and they took it down. They darkened it down. So that was a big marketing ploy, but also their sort of view around the carbon guzzling nature of Bitcoin mining and a sort of proof of work mechanism. So yeah, has been a lightning rod as blockchain grows into the mainstream. So this is something that they done to show their carbon footprint to society, and then yeah, so they've been climbing the sort of price range a little bit, and this news came out this week, and there's a whole press conference for this, but this is really big news. So Algorand scores FIFA partnership, algo price surges, the blockchain will be a regional supporter of North America and Europe at this year's World Cup, and an official sponsor of next year's Women's World Cup. So we, as we know, the sort of football, the soccer World Cup is going to be taking place in Qatar, and we're going to be seeing one of the best superstars, the best teams, sort of participate in it, and now we also have some blockchain partnerships. And the first thing in Algorand is something we can sort of look into key takeaways. So what's the key takeaway here? So it goes here: FIFA soccer's global governing body locked in Algorand as an official blockchain partner before the World Cup competition that starts in November in Qatar. According to the agreement, Algorand will be a regional supporter for North America and Europe at the World Cup, and an official sponsor of the Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand next year. The agreement comes weeks after crypto exchange Crypto.com became a sponsor of the 2022 World Cup. So yeah, so Crypto.com is also a sponsor of the World Cup. So Algorand will provide the official blockchain supported wallet for FIFA in what is a sponsorship and technical partnership deal. This is pretty amazing. So you'll be able to use your Algo wallet, DeFi wallet at the World Cup, which is freaking awesome. Maybe I should book my tickets to Qatar for the World Cup this year. FIFA will get assistance from Algorand to further develop its digital asset strategy, and Algorand will have the opportunity for promotions, advertising, and media exposure through FIFA. Let's read more into this. So Silvio Micali, this guy, like, he's a mathematician. He's a genius. Like, if you want to research, follow him on Twitter, and just see his interviews. He's actually done a TED Talk as well. In fact, I'm going to give you his TED Talk. I want you guys to do your homework and kind of look into this, and then we can read into his article a little bit more. But yeah, he's done TED Talks. He's very vocal on basically the blockchain, and it's many different utilities. So I'm going to put this here. He's done interviews with Lex Friedman. He's given lectures on things, but I want you guys to watch his TED Talk that took place. Let's watch a minute of this a little bit, and let's see what he talks about.
Giornali, c'è un database organizzato in blocchi.
In fact, we're gonna forget that. it's in Italian, but you can use the subtitles to look into it. But he's done some amazing sort of talks. He's talked to Lex Friedman. He's talked about the technology that they're using, and that's his sort of TED Talk. And yeah, let's see if I can show you a little bit from his interview with Lex Friedman.
Transacts, nobody.
So let's break it down in terms of achieving scalability. How do we achieve scalability in the space of blockchain, in the space of cryptocurrency?
Okay, so scalability, security, remember, and decentralization, right?
Yes,
So
yeah.
that's what you want.
What's the best way to approach? Can we break it down? Let's start with scalability and think about how do we achieve it?
Well, to achieve it at one at a time is perhaps easy. Even security, if nobody transacts, nobody loses money. So that is secure, but it's not scalable. So
point.
let me tell you, I'm a cartographer, so I try to fight the bad guys. And what you want is that a vessel ledger that we discussed before cannot be tampered with. So you must think of it that is a special ink that nobody can erase.
Okay.
Then it has to be, everybody should be able to read and not to alter the pages or the content of the pages. That's okay. But you know what?
Really interesting. I'd basically talk more, and look into his explanations. But if you want to watch that Lex Friedman interview, we'll post you the link here so you can watch that. Really insightful stuff. But let's get back to the FIFA article, right? So yeah, so basically, so Salvio Micali in Los Angeles, he said, the collaboration is a clear indication of FIFA's commitment to continually seeking innovative channels for sustainable revenue growth for further reinvestment back into football, ensuring transparency to our stakeholders and worldwide football fans. A key element of our vision is to make football truly global, Infantino said in a statement. Really big statement. So that's the president of FIFA speaking about cryptocurrencies. So yeah, guys, last year we were saying we were looking to adoption, and this year we're seeing like all these sort of big deals happen behind closed doors and now becoming public, right? So that's the news on Algorand. Do look into Algorand. Algorand is a really cool ecosystem. I've been studying this quite a bit in the last few months. Now, luckily, I have like another, you can say, I'll go 5 minutes more. I won't go more. But I'm going to talk about the big thing that happened this week. On the weekend, if you were part of the Cobra discussion, you would have realized we took initiative on our Cobra DAO, and we put our funds from the Nike Reflect box, and we did a vote with our Cobra members, and we wanted to participate in the Otherside, the Bored Ape Yacht Club Otherside land sale for their game. So this thing came out. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna show you a small video of basically its promotion, and then we'll kind of read about this a little bit and look for this inside. But this is the 1 minute video. I'll kind of show it to you guys here. So just give me 1 second.
You know the day destroys the night. Night divides the day. Try to run, try to hide. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side. Yeah. We chased our pleasures here, dug our treasures there. We can't still recall the time we cried. Break on through to the other side. Break on through to the other side.
So yeah, that was the basically the sort of trailer to the game, and yeah, so the land sale went live, and I mean, this article came out when they you can say gathered 561 million from the sales, but now it's sort of past the billion mark, so we'll get into that. But the article here reads: Yuga Labs sees 561 million in Otherside Ethereum network Ethereum NFT sales within 24 hours. The craze caused Ethereum to crash and Ethereum gas fee to soar to thousands of dollars per transaction. We personally, we paid about gas fee of $6,000 worth of ETH to get this thing happen, because it crashed the whole ecosystem and these were filling up really quickly. So let's read up a little bit on this. So Yuga Labs, the startup behind Bored Ape Yacht Club, that's valued at $4 billion, had its highly anticipated Otherside metaverse mint on Saturday night, clogging the Ethereum mainnet and sending gas prices to shocking heights. In less than 24 hours, Yuga Labs has generated more than 561 million from just Otherside other deed NFT sales. NFTs are unique blockchain tokens to signify ownership of a digital physical asset. In the case of other deeds, each is meant to be the key to claiming land on the other side. So it was a land sale, guys. And yeah, as Colbers, we were able to purchase a bit of land on this thing, and the land is pretty fire. When we have more on it, we'll sort of show it to you. But yeah, it caused like check this out. So nearly $100 million has been spent on gas fee, for example, for the Bored Ape Yacht Club land sale in 1 hour. This is money that could have gone to Yuga or stayed in the user's pocket, right? So this is like sort of critiquing what we the issues we have on Ethereum right now, proof of work, right? So it goes, but Ethereum co-founder had a different he goes, don't think optimizing the contract would help, he said of the Otherside mint. Regardless of contract details, TX fee goes up until list price plus token fee market price. If gas usage per purchase decreased 2x, the equilibrium gas price should have just been Gwei instead of 6,000. So yeah, so then they sent out this tweet when they had the sellout. The sellout happened quite late at night. We were up all night. We were up like 6 hours. So the other deed NFT mint is sold out. We are awestruck at the demand shown tonight. Apes and mutants. The opening of the 21-day claim period is being delayed until the price of gas drops to reasonable levels. We'll tweet when the claims open. So yeah. So basically, a lot of people had issues, and people were not able to. A lot of people actually missed out because they weren't able to afford the gas fee. I mean, imagine asking a normal person to pay $6,000 in gas fee. So yeah, it did get a bit of critique because of this. So we're gonna look into that article as well, and it also had a snowball effect on his token ApeCoin, which we'll get into as well. So here it reads, Bored Ape creator slammed for nightmare Ethereum NFT land drop. Tone deaf response, right? So Bored Ape Yacht Club creator Yuga Labs launched NFT land deeds on Saturday for Otherside Metaverse game. The record-breaking sale has drawn ample criticism for the sale format, smart contract code, and Yuga's response after the soaring gas fee. So yeah, offered up to 55,000 Ethereums NFTs oddities that represented digital terrains in the game, and frenzied attempt by approved buyers to snap the value. So yeah, some users had issues. So this was one of the Bored Ape holders, Ape Father. So what did Ape Father have to say about this issue? So he goes, I brought many friends into the space for this drop. They were loaded with fresh apes and little eats for gas, 25 ETH on average. Our initial thoughts were that we could simply wait out the initial heat due to the data we saw. We were very wrong. The impossible did indeed happen. My friend said things like, who would ever use Ethereum? NFTs are only for rich people. And to be honest, I agreed with him. Although my initial reactions were filled with emotions, I agreed. How is this going to prove we are innovating? So yeah, so this is a bit of critique on basically on Ethereum's mainnet, and also with the way the sale happened, and how it crashed the mainnet and slowed things down. So Yuga Labs went further to say this has been the largest NFT mint in history by several multiples, and yet the gas used during the mint showed that demand far exceeded anyone's wildest expectations. The scale of this mint was so large that Ethereum's Etherscan crashed. And what did they say further on from there, right? They said, we're sorry for turning off the gas lights on Ethereum for a while. It seems abundantly clear that ApeCoin will need to migrate to its own chain in order to properly scale. We like to encourage the DAO to start thinking in this direction, right? So things like Bored Ape Yacht Club are built around a DAO. So they're going to be looking into ApeCoin. And yeah, that's the next thing I'm going to go into, because ApeCoin did go through a bit of a price plunge. So that's the last article we're going to look into today. Thank you for holding out, guys. I tried to fit all these things in one go, but I can imagine, that this one's a bit stretched. This one stretched longer. So we'll look into this. So ApeCoin plummets double digits after Metaverse NFT land sale. The token behind Bored Ape Yacht Club's inspired DAO, ApeCoin, dropped 13% in 24 hours amidst Bored Ape Yacht Club's record-breaking Metaverse land sale. ApeCoin is facing some serious volatility. In the past 24 hours alone, the token behind ApeDAO, a decentralized organization DAO linked to the popular NFT collection Bored Ape Yacht Club, has dived and even jumped several points. So yeah, price went from when we were sort of buying Ape to participate, price was about 20 you can say $27, $28, right? And sorry, at the top it was about 23, 24. It dipped all the way down to 15 basically. So according to price data pulled from CoinMarketCap this time yesterday, ApeCoin was trading at $17.74. The token then fell to $16.24, rose back to 17, plummeted again to 15.7, retook 17.5, and current price is at 15.49. So yeah, the price did dip. And yeah, so there's still lessons to be learned in DeFi of how these things are organized. But yeah, this was one of the biggest NFT mints in history, and they were able to acquire about almost $1 billion from just one night of sales. So that's the update there, guys, on ApeCoin, on Bored Ape Yacht Club. I hope you guys found that useful, and I'm gonna sort of conclude it from here. Thank you so much for participating.